so it's about 23 after midnight. It's the 18th of September 2021. Town City, California. Yeah, you notice the camera angle again. Instead of talking about the mother, it's my brother's brand new birthday if he was still alive. He would have been 35 years when he saw it. Before he died, he was known as Ivy David. He got it from somebody else who passed away decades earlier when David started his journey. And somebody gave him the moniker. Kept it ever since. And the moniker is just as important as saying the first name when you're in the program. Regardless of what recovery that you are. Sometimes nicknames help, and other times don't. My brother had a hell of a time on his journey, trying to get there. He had to basically go through hell and heaven where he got his recovery. A long while, a long, hard, and long struggle. A long time ago, two gentlemen met by fate. That started the 12-step program. History of this has already been recorded. There have been many editions and printouts of the book. Available in supermarkets, but in specialty shops, online. Every once in a while, you might find it if you're lucky enough in a bookstore. So just like under personal help. But the symbol of Alcoholics Anonymous, the triangle and the circle, has meaning and depth for everybody. Yes, this is the one that started things out for the recovery. At least that's what I've learned along the while. And in my brother's case, it was the main symbol of his life. Besides the American flag and special force, symbol of the trucker's hat. And all they were important to my brother. All of them. But the one major thing before my brother passed away that meant a great deal more, because this really saved his life. And that was the triangle within the circle. Symbol of Alcoholics Anonymous. Let's just say that I was there from the beginning of his journey all the way through his end. Even though we were 8 years difference. I'm the younger, I'm the baby. He was the big brother. You know, it starts off with a guy who has enough problems from growing up as a kid. And then he still has emotional issues, but with special help and a lot of discipline from he was trying to stay the course. However, it was already forecasted and already foretold that he was going to be an alcoholic for the rest of his life. Didn't even realize. Takes just a drink or two, trying to make sure it's right enough for the mama when she comes home from a long day of work. takes is a little bit of an emotional push somewhere, a little bit of instability, and he's off and running. Gets to a point where his behavior, as he matured and grew up as an adult, and goes into the service to earn what he wanted in the first place, comes out disgraced, and trying to wipe that off his record ever since, and he couldn't, not even past his death. But to me and my mother, he still retained it because he earned it. The government saw otherwise. But because he was an alcoholic, there are other forms of escape that pops out of there like variants. My brother had lost it. Got to the point where Ma and I had to get rid of it. It's called tough love. I knew Ma was going to go to a program to deal with her weight loss. She had tried fads, she had tried pills, it didn't work. So this time she would try a program. And it gave her support. It gave her friends, it gave her more family than she had. Something that she needed. Something that was desperately needed in the family. My brother had to do his journey. We kicked his ass out when he was out of control, and he came back home in 1985. 3 or 4 months later, has a skeleton, zombie. Not a flesh-eating one. Very humbled and very terrified zombie. Not craving brains, he was craving life. He was also craving forgiveness. I went to a meeting, shared, came back home, gave it an ultimatum. Call or get the hell out. Do that in the morning. He called. He wanted to live. And he fought like hell to see him. At first, I wasn't quite sure about him. It took me a while just to see the changes. My brother coming back the way he was before he got lost. A little bit tougher, a little bit more of an asshole, but still. His recovery was long and slow, and during that time, he had many setbacks. One of which damn near killed him. He had a lot of things happen to him that should have killed him. The higher power that was still looking after him. I guess his grandma still wanted him to still live. Glad he did. Glad he did. And there have been many times I wanted to kill myself too. And I got a feeling I got family upstairs that's still looking after me, trying to make sure I'm still alive. including that my mother and my brother tries to prove, I should say. It's not easy living with alcoholism in your family or in your genes, let alone the genetics. Seeing it passed down from generation to generation, sometimes skipping, but finding a mutation to settle in and take care of a life one way or another. I've had relatives, I've had friends, I've had family. One way or another, this damn disease is going to nail people left and right, damn it, too. It's not that easy going up to a podium, raising a hand, identify yourself. It's supposed to be a novice on the outside, on the inside. It's, well, we know you by your first name. Sometimes we'll know you by your last name if we actually have a chance. Sometimes we live by monikers or pet names, one way or another for identification. There were no secret handshakes, there were no pins. I don't think there was a lot of pins being worn. Such as how many years people have survived without taking your drink or taking your snoring or something else. Or cutesy things to say that easy does it one day at a time. Take it easy. This too shall pass. Higher power. People on the street will look at the stuff and not quite sure what to make of it. It's bypassed. Those who are in the recovery programs look at it and identify themselves as such. It's a way to identify ourselves with each other outside. Sometimes we don't even realize what our last name is. We only know the first person's name. But when we finally find out what the last name is, it's like, whoa, I didn't realize that. I didn't realize you did this, yeah. Well, I did this and did that. Wow, cool. You say that in the meeting all the time. Usually, some things I just leave out. Some things you would tell, and other things you wouldn't. But all had to be relative and relevant to what you're there for, which is to stay sober, and not to mention to carry a message towards the newcomer. Because we look at the newcomer as the lifeblood of the program. We get more newcomers into the program. We know that they're there hopefully to stay or survive. Maybe a few will drop off. Many will drop off. But if we could just keep one or two alive and still sober, and still carry the message forward, that there is hope from damn disease. Disease of mind, body, and spirit, basically. You already had to be screwed up inside before you actually get the addictions that are set up in your head. And then after that, it's way too late. You're off and running once it goes in. You have to admit that you are out of control from whatever addiction that you got. To realize that there are things beyond your control, and there may be some kind of something that you can rely on outside of yourself that can try to help you restore yourself to sanity. Some people use spirituality. Some people actually use religion. Other people use physical items or groups of people in order to stay alive. Whatever it takes. If it works, it works. You have people walking you through recovery programs. In the book of Alcoholics Anonymous, there is a program mentioned. Step-by-step instruction on how to do this. The thing is even downloadable online. We didn't have that back then. Before the internet, we had the hardcovers. These days, you get the electronic version of it and put it in someone in iPad or something like that. Even on your cell phone, read it. But most of us hardcore like they're having hard or soft. It's just tradition. There's traditions like that keep the program and recovery going. My brother followed the traditions as much as possible as he could, helping the newcomers out, and help lead meetings, secretaries or coffee, whatever it took, whatever service it took for him to get out of himself and helping somebody else out. It's a way of him paying back to the program what the program gave him, which was the tools necessary to stay sober and stay alive. And that was also handed over to me. On some occasions, it's necessary for me to be in contact with people left and right to make sure that my own sobriety is not threatened. I have my own issues. And the tools that I learned from Alcoholics Anonymous helped me a great deal as it helped my brother stay sober. It was a hell of an influence. And made a mark on some people. Just hope that it was enough. I had been with the program since my brother had gotten in 85. I didn't understand one damn thing about it. As many times as I've been through it, sitting and listening, and not participating, just being dragged from meeting to meeting because my mother wanted me out of the damn house and my brother was reluctant to take me anywhere. Listen to the situations. The meetings weren't exactly supposed to be public, and family members were always welcome because family members are always affected by the damn thing in the first place. There were other programs related to family that could help them out dealing with the alcoholic, called Al-Anon. For teenagers, Al-Anon. Me should have been in Al-Anon, but I was a budding alcoholic and didn't even realize it. So, every time I kept listening to people talking about the same problems they had over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, it was so damn monotonous, I didn't even catch it. I didn't even think of it. I didn't care. I didn't. I didn't care that I was also going to be a growing and budding one. And I really didn't care. I didn't want to care. I did not want to deal with Alcoholics Anonymous. I didn't want to deal with anybody in the program. At one time, I almost fought people. After a meeting, I just wanted to stay the hell away from it. They saw the signs and they said, you know, it's okay that you can talk to us. You know, tell us what's going on. I kept telling them to go fuck off. One particular group in particular, because I did not want to associate myself with any one of them. The most hardest programs they could ever run. Hardcore. I call it fanatic. But they were determined to stay sober no matter what. And their members were the toughest bastards too. And I told them to go fuck off. They were in front of my brother, in front of other brothers. I didn't want it. Period. They looked at me with pity. They looked at me with concern. One of them almost looked at me like they wanted to take a baseball bat to my head. It's like, how dare you insult the integrity of this damn group and the program of Alcoholics Anonymous. My brother had to step in on that one. He had to make sure there was some things I had to be aware of. And I really didn't care at the time. I didn't care about myself at that point. I didn't care about anybody else. I mean, there were character defects I had that were going to put me through my own paces and put my ass in the program without me realizing it, without me knowing it. It's one thing when I go up to a podium or raise a hand and talk about the story. I try to do experience, strength, and hope. Experience how we got into the program. Strength is what we're doing day by day, and hope as well. What we wish we could try achieving, what we hope for. Staying sobriety, staying sober for one more day. Staying alive one more day. Without being conquered by the damn addiction, by the damn disease. Say, disease of the body, mind, spirit, and you're not kidding. All three are attacked and screwed. Powerless over the damn thing. We have to have something greater than ourselves to help us walk through the difficult times. And this is one of the reasons why people go from spirituality and religious aspects. Now, there are chapters in the book, called the Big Book, not Alcoholics Anonymous, Big Book, that deals with people who don't deal with religion very well, who don't believe powers greater than themselves, as in spiritual powers. And that's all right. That was already covered a long time ago, too. But this was so important to understand. I didn't care about powers greater than myself. I didn't even care about God at that point. I thought God was almost a myth at that point over there. Despite the fact I had been dead 3 times as a young kid, 4 years old, open heart surgery, and gone to the afterlife, and the afterlife kicked me out 3 times trying to keep my ass alive. You'd think that kind of experience would stay with a kid, or even having a couple of spiritual experiences of giving you that kind of hope and joy and energy, only to be shutting it out because you had a lot of fear and doubt and terrified stuff, and then angry at anything and everybody. And we were just angry. It was me. It's hard enough for me to talk about stuff like this, but it relates to my brother because it's me and my brother, and mine is coming up on October 10th. I haven't had a drink in hell in a while. And every time since my brother's death, I wanted to kill myself. I did not want to live. The hardest damn thing for me to do was wake up and realize that my brother is gone. And my grief, my pain had blinded me a great deal. And sometimes I keep forgetting there may be people out there that still actually give a shit and actually do remember me and my brother. They just haven't bothered to check in with me. I'm supposed to check in with them. When I get into myself so damn badly is I'm thinking more of myself, my own damn survival. And I'm thinking about how can I be of service? How can I get out my own damn thinking? Because if I stay in the damn thing, it's eventually going to leave me out there and I'm going to be dead. And it's a horrible thought for me to keep thinking about it and even talking about it because I'm going to be dying. I'm going to put myself in that kind of situation. It still scares the hell out of me of being in that situation. Because I know where the hell it leads me to. I don't want to go there again. I had also seen my brother being torn apart, damn near destroyed. And I don't want to go there. I would I did a meetings of Alcoholics Anonymous with my brother and just laughed at the damn thing. I had barriers put on, physical and mental and probably spiritual as well, that I did not want to deal with anybody or anything. I would have physical let's just say I had things on my chest, literally, that would tell people to back off. I'm more unique than anything else. I'm better than anybody else. I'm going to celebrate this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm this. I'm that. I'm this. And that was like walking in the crowd, wearing a 50,000 medal on your damn chest. Thinking you're all coolest, hippest, slickest, sorry excuse of a human being, but you think your ego is better than everybody else's. Way to tell people to go fuck off. My ego was better than yours. My program better than yours. And I can wear shit you can't. I'm this. The hell, start losing damn pants and I freak out like a damn baby. Oh, God, freak out. Pain in the ass. I think I knew better. I didn't. My ego was so out there. I didn't care about helping out another human being. Screw up. How about helping me out? Don't you know you're dealing with your damn shit stuck out of here? The nose going up in the air, and that was me. It wasn't the easiest damn thing for me to say or do these days, or even back then. It never was. See, in a program like Alcoholics Anonymous or 12-step programs, you have to be honest with yourself. You got to be honest. That's a cash register honesty. You got to balance out a register. You got to have to make sure that every penny and every bill is accounted for, and that you've got your money balanced out. Ledgers not showing any red but black. You want to make sure that you don't have anybody that you pissed off, so you probably won't have to make amends to them down the road. But also you have to make amends to yourself for all the shit that you put yourself through in the first place. And yeah, I did that a lot. It's bad enough writing a list of my own damn character defects. Saying what the hell I screwed up, what the hell my major malfunction was, who did I hurt, how did I hurt him, what did I say, what did I do, and then how the hell do I make them up? The hardest damn thing is walking up to the person, and even though they may have done the harm to me, I still had to apologize and claim my own side of the street. That was the hardest damn thing for me to do. In some instance, you're just trying to live your life the best you can, and you'll say, well, I'll do a living amend. Sometimes you can go out and do the amends or make the journey if you need to. Other times, just try to help somebody else out, I guess, but you still have to make clarification what you've screwed up with and be willing to do whatever it takes to fix it. And if you can't fix it, then you pray about it, you turn it over, and you let it go, and you keep going. It's pretty good. Some things and some people I can't fix. Some events I will never be able to. And I have to live my life as best as I can. the hopes that maybe somehow, someday, it'll mean something to another person. I hope. We have our own stories, but they all have something similar in mind. We're all just as fucked up when we started. Didn't matter what age. We're still there to fuck us over one way or another. We had to realize we're powerless over this damn bastard. Turning it over is another thing. Our will and our control over to something beyond us, beyond our own damn ego. And put our faith and trust in that, whatever it is, whatever or whoever it may be. And the cleanup process. You dig into your own past, every memory, every crook and cranny, and you keep writing books, keeping journals, keeping ledgers of what the hell you've done, what the hell you said, who you said it to, what you did. Talk to another person about your problems, what your plans are, and then you implement them. And then you constantly take an inventory, see what the hell goes on, make amends when you can. And then having a spiritual awakening from a result of the damn steps, carry the message to the next person suffering. You keep doing these things in all your affairs. And believe me, it's hard enough as it is. Some days just getting through steps 1 through 3, let alone 4. Because the 4th is when you have to get inventory on yourself, and you have to be honest with yourself, and that's the hardest thing. It's even worse is when you have to go up in front of people and talk about it. Raise your hand and tell your story. Walk up to the podium and identify yourself as a newcomer. Or worse off, be selected as a speaker and speak for about an hour or 2, and you're still telling about yourself. Somewhere in the telling, somebody was actually listening for a change, trying to figure out how the hell to get through this shit, trying to figure out what the hell's going on, because even they don't know what the hell's going on. There are steps, there are books, there are videos out there of people who have passed on their wisdom in various forms that we all use. Even notable, famous ones in the program may be unknown to the general public, and that's how it's supposed to be. But these guys have pushed other people into prominence and allowed them to succeed in their own program, and they're reaching out hands to help the next person get recovered or learn about recovery. That's how we do it. That's how my brother did it for all his life. Most of his life anyway. Since 85. September 18th, 1985. It was going to be August, but he did a month of marijuana maintenance. He stayed away from alcohol, but he didn't stay away from the marijuana. So when he came clean and sober, it was today's date. And he hadn't drank, and he hadn't used. Except for medications that are prescribed by doctors. And even those, at nearly the end of his life, was having issues with him. Because his own mind was not dealing with it very well. Courtesy of his past. I talk about him and I talk about me because we were so interrelated with each other. There should have been a codependent program for both of us. Because we were that dependent upon each other. For our survival, for our recovery, for everything else. I suppose we became our own higher powers of sorts, but we actually did have a belief in the spiritual realm. of people out there trying to help us, and that gave us a bit of strength, hope, and courage at the times when we needed it the most. It's not that easy to talk about stuff like this. It's not that easy to tell a normie person who hasn't been through the program, actually a person who hasn't been, but don't even realize it if they actually are. Unless, of course, they've actually sat at a meeting, listened to it, read some of the material, and figured out for themselves if they are, if they're not. My brother, was a good man. I hadn't talked about him enough. I know I would talk a lot about him like a celebrity since he passed away. It helps me get it off my chest. How I look at him, how I view him. That's just a human being struggling to survive, struggling to live, struggling to stay sober, basically struggling. There wasn't nothing easy. There was never nothing easy about us. About what he was going through, what I was going through, what Mom was going through. Ma stopped going to meetings after she lost some of her friends in there. And she felt she couldn't take the program any longer. But she strongly encouraged my brother to stay in it. And he did. Dave made an agreement with my mother that while he was still living under the house, under her roof, he still lived by her rules, and he kept it. We stayed together. It was still under her roof, her house, her rules. And when Mom passed, we still kept those rules. He still went the program until we lost transportation. But he kept in contact with people that kept him sober. We kept each other sober even though we were totally emotionally screwed up, and believe me, we needed the meetings a hell of a lot. There was a hell of a lot to walk through, a hell of a lot of pain, and then the hardest damn thing is when he went. I felt like I was losing control. Probably still am. I haven't drank, I haven't smoked, I haven't done anything like that. Overeating, yeah. And I have to admit it. I have to admit that I am still an alcoholic, just changes disguises. I'm still just as screwed up as anybody else, or everybody else, actually. I still have the ego issues. I hadn't worn something flamboyant like I used to in a hell of a long while because I've gotten older and worse. Can't wear the damn heavy metal like I used to. 20 pounds of pins on the chest or in the back don't exactly feel too great on the back and neck. And especially when you have to keep worrying about the damn clasps and the pins falling off left and right. They're going to obsessive pain in the ass, that'd be me. But saying that, I was grateful and I was glad that my brother became a member of Alcoholics Anonymous. But I've saved his ass. I had to get the story out. I had to tell people know what's going on. I had to say this. Not exactly the easiest damn thing in the world for me to do. Because you don't like telling this story to anybody else. And some stories are being told left to right on the online. And they don't even realize it. And other people talk about this stuff like that. Alcoholics Anonymous a long time ago. We kept it in the meeting halls when we first started the programs. Back in the 40s. Back in the 30s and 40s. Two guys. Actually, there was an institution and other people, but too prominent. Bob and Bill W. Smith and Wilson. Not Wilson. That'd be Bob's name. There's history on how these guys joined up through fate. Discussed about it in the first chapter of the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. It's called Bill's Story. You can Google that online. You see the pictures of our founding fathers of the recoveries. And yes, they do rely upon things that sometimes we have to stretch our imaginations and stretch our disbelief. Because if we don't, we're going to be stuck, and it's kind of hard. Some people actually do find ways around the spirituality situation in order to still achieve sobriety. I'll take the spirituality today. I miss my brother. I miss my brother. I'm proud of him. I'm proud of what he's done in his life. I'm proud of what he's accomplished in his life. I just hadn't said it enough while he was still alive. Sometimes I feel like I failed him and Mom more because I haven't done anything as much as I've been doing these days, except trying to stay sober, trying to stay alive, and still going to college. Something for them and for myself. I wanted to be a published writer. I wanted to be as great and as famous as all the other authors I knew of. The truth of the matter is, all you gotta do is be greater and actually be better than my own damn limitations, and that's about it. Screw everyone else's level. How can be better than me? And if I can't be better than that, then, well, we'll just deal with it then. One thing at a time, one major goal at a time, that's what I'm trying to do right now. Sometimes it's not that easy because even trying to achieve a goal, there are many obstacles and many challenges. And while I was under the impression a long time ago that I was not good enough for this damn crap, so I'll be back in hell of a lot of so many years. Going through school and trying to go for college and didn't think I was good enough for the damn place. And I get a letter like this of separation and get jammed, kicked out of the house or work full time. Kept kicking myself in the ass for over 30 freaking years. And as I'm doing this, 2 classes at a time, just trying to focus on 2 classes at a time if I can. And sometimes it's just 1 class, but trying to show that I can actually do this thing. And seeing my grades going up and stabilizing. They're just not flunking out in every class, but passing a lot of the classes and keeping a C average. It's got to be, to me, that's got to be something. B's and A's would have been better. But then again, I'm not an overachiever ready to kill myself. If I can get a C, I'm fine with it. I may be mediocre for other people, but you know, I'm kind of happy with that. I'm mediocre, deal with it. Only my ego would probably want more, but I'm happy with it, what it is right now. I know my mom would probably want me to pass classes. It would tickle her pink if I got up there and comes or something like that. But just going through the school and getting a certificate of completion through college, and then going for more. him a lot more. Would it please me? It's a different story altogether. Because I'd have to look at myself and say, am I ready for a bigger challenge than this? Let's not start worrying about this damn thing just here, shall we? I'm worrying about me right now as it is. So, while this is Saturday, and while I still have assignments I still have to do in college, it's not writing assignments, more reading assignments. It's going to drive me crazy. I'm chomping at the bits for the writing assignments because I want to get my ass going on that one. I want to get my ass working on it. And regarding my own sobriety, I still talk to people from time to time. I still have friends still in the program. And I'll talk with them from time to time just to keep them up to speed what the hell's going on, because I don't want to lose track of people in the program that actually helped me out and mean a damn thing to me. Because I actually did. I actually listened to them. And it helped me out a great deal. I know my brother was influenced by them. And they're probably talking with my brother even as we speak. Wondering if I'm actually going to be able to do anything or accomplish anything. Or maybe worse. I don't know. But I'm hoping the story of my brother will be able to encourage somebody out there. You need help in your damn situation. There's always a phone call. There's always help out there. You just have to ask for it. I know we're going to get preachy and biblical about the situation over here. But the practicality and the reality that we're talking about right now, there are hands out there outstretched. All you got to do is find them and they'll put you into the right place. You need to get away from the alcohol and the drugs. We've got the programs out there. We've got the people out there. All you gotta do is go through their directories and locate either Narcotics Anonymous or Alcoholics Anonymous, and then just take it a step at a time. That's all it takes. Sometimes a minute at a time, sometimes a second at a time, but that's alright. That's alright, that's how it works. It works if you work it. It won't if you don't. So just take it easy. Just easy does it, I'm sure. You'll be fine. I'm John W. and I thank you for letting me share.